Hello everyone. Today, I want to share a topic with you that I believe is gradually becoming an unavoidable reality for many of us. This is especially relevant for men who have entered the latter half of their lives, those who are facing life after having gone through many ups and downs, losses, and experiences. We will talk about living alone, a difficult reality, but one that needs to be thoroughly understood in order to face it with strength and peace. In this journey, I will not only talk about the loneliness that many older men encounter, but also about profound philosophies of life, the meaning of love, connection, and how we can find inner peace when we have reached maturity. 1. Modern life and the challenges of seeking companionship. The life of a man, especially when he has passed through most of his journey, is not only measured by success or what he has achieved, but also by the relationships and connections he has built over the years. When we were young, we often had clear expectations about our roles in the family and society. We believed that, as men, our duty was to provide, protect, and be a solid foundation for those we love. But today's society is no longer the same as when we grew up. Nowadays, the role of men has changed. The values we once knew and lived by seem no longer relevant in a world where technology, social media, and culture have reshaped every aspect of life. This makes finding and maintaining companionship in later life a difficult challenge. Relationships no longer revolve around the man providing and the woman taking care of the family. They have become more of an equal partnership. For many older men, this change is hard to accept because it breaks the core principles we once thought were essential for a happy life. Furthermore, the loneliness of living alone can make us question our own worth. This does not only come from the lack of companionship, but also from a sense of losing direction in a society we no longer seem to belong to. However, to confront this loneliness, we must understand that life is constantly changing. These changes do not mean we are being left behind. On the contrary, they offer us an opportunity to adapt and find new ways to live more happily, peacefully, and meaningfully. 2. The rise of social media and the change in how people connect. If you look back at how we used to connect with each other in the past, you will notice a huge difference. When we were young, we formed relationships based on direct encounters, intimate conversations, and truly sharing life together. But now, things have changed. Social media has transformed the way we communicate, and in many cases, instead of bringing people closer together, it has pushed us apart. For older men, especially those who are not familiar with the digital world, social media can be an unfamiliar and even intimidating place. We see a younger generation constantly posting photos and updating their lives, while we feel left behind. On dating apps, everything seems to revolve around appearance and popularity. For those who have lived their entire lives based on values like honesty, resilience, and genuine love, it is hard to accept that now. Everything is judged solely on looks or a few pictures posted online. We need to remember that social media is just a tool, not reality. What we see there does not fully reflect people's real lives. It is only carefully curated moments, and it often does not reveal the struggles and challenges that people are actually going through. Don't let perfect photos or success stories online make you feel inadequate or not good enough. Real life lies in the moments we share with the people we love in the real world, not on a screen. 3. Changes in standards of attraction and the confidence of older men. When we were young, we didn't worry much about appearance. Qualities like reliability, the ability to provide, and loyalty were what truly mattered. But now, Society seems to have changed the way it views a man's value. Standards of attraction are no longer based on character or maturity, but instead focus more on appearance and financial success. This makes many older men feel left out of the game. We grow older. It is a natural law of life. We may no longer have the youthful, energetic appearance we once had. And perhaps we don't earn as much money as we did at the peak of our careers. But that doesn't mean we lose our value. On the contrary, age brings us wisdom and deep understanding of life, things not everyone has. Maturity is not just about appearance, but also how we face life. If you can understand and accept your own changes, you will realize that the true value of a man does not lie in his looks or how much money he makes, but in his understanding, patience, and the ability to share the precious experiences he has accumulated over the years. Be confident in your inner worth, because those qualities never fade with time. 4. The deepening desire for connection in old age. In the years of youth, we were often too busy with work and family life to truly think about the meaning of connection. But as we age, we begin to realize that the most important thing in life is not material achievements, but the relationships we have built and nurtured. It's the moments we share together, the companionship on life's challenging and joyful journey. For older men, the desire for connection doesn't diminish with age. On the contrary, it becomes stronger than ever. We no longer care as much about superficial relationships, but seek true, deep, and lasting connections. We crave someone to share small joys, daily worries, and reflections on life. However, in seeking this connection, we also face challenges. Opening up after past hurts can be difficult. Many of us have gone through painful divorces, lost a spouse, or experienced failed relationships. This makes us more cautious and sometimes fearful of being hurt again. But we need to understand that nothing worthwhile comes without risk. If we are not willing to take risks, we will never have the chance to experience life's greatest joys. Remember that connection and love are the most important things, and we should never give up hope on them, no matter how many challenges life has thrown our way. 5. The shift in gender roles and expectations of masculinity in modern society. The world we live in today is no longer the world we once knew when we were young. We were taught that men are the providers, protectors, and leaders of the family. Women, on the other hand, took on the role of caregivers and homemakers. These roles were not only accepted, but also considered the foundation of every happy relationship. But now, society has changed a great deal. Women are increasingly independent, financially autonomous, and free to make their own life decisions. For many older men, this shift can cause feelings of confusion. We once believed that being a good provider was enough to ensure a lasting relationship. But now, that is no longer enough. Women don't just want a man who can provide. They also want a partner who can share emotions, responsibilities, and accompany them through life's journey. For many older men, adapting to these changes can be very difficult. We were raised with different principles, and adjusting to fit modern society is not easy. But that doesn't mean we cannot change. In fact, the shift in gender roles presents us with the opportunity to develop other aspects of ourselves that we may not have considered before. Modern masculinity is not just about physical strength or the ability to provide, but also about understanding, sharing, and expressing emotions. We can learn to be more open, listen to others, and especially listen to ourselves. This does not diminish the value of men. On the contrary, it helps us become better partners, fathers, and friends. 6. Legal and financial difficulties after the end of relationships. For many older men, Going through a divorce or losing a spouse can leave deep scars, not just emotionally but also financially. We may have worked all our lives to build a family, a career, and when everything falls apart, the legal and financial burdens can make us feel like we've lost everything. In modern legal systems, particularly in Western countries, many men feel they are at a disadvantage after divorce. Having to share assets, pay alimony, or child support can make many men feel stripped and worried about their financial future. This makes entering a new relationship more frightening than ever before. 7. Loneliness, a choice or a result of life. Loneliness is often seen as a negative state, especially in a society that constantly promotes seeking companionship and building relationships. But for many older men, loneliness can be a deliberate choice. After many years of living and experiencing emotional pain, some men decide that being alone, though perhaps sad, brings them the peace and freedom they need to focus on themselves. Loneliness does not necessarily have to be viewed as failure or something to be feared. For some, it is an opportunity for reflection and personal growth. After spending most of their lives caring for others, living for family and social responsibilities, some men find joy and comfort in taking care of themselves. They realize that being alone does not mean being lonely. It can be a chance to rediscover oneself, pursue passions and interests they previously lacked the time or courage to explore. Think of loneliness as a phase of personal growth. We don't have to follow society's mold, where finding a partner or maintaining social relationships is always seen as the top priority. Instead, ask yourself, what do I truly want? Perhaps you will discover that peace, freedom, and living life on your own terms are what really matter. This doesn't mean we give up on love or connection. It's simply a change in perspective, a way to find peace in the moments we share with ourselves. 8. Facing old age in a changing world. Aging is a phase we all must face, whether we are ready or not. For many older men, aging can bring anxiety, fear, and a sense of loss. We no longer have the health we once did, careers have ended, and sometimes important relationships fade over time. However, old age is not the end. It can be a new beginning, an opportunity to reflect on life, consider what truly matters, and begin living with a deeper understanding and gratitude. In the modern world, aging can feel isolating. Society often values youth, beauty, and success. We see images of young, accomplished, energetic people in the media, while we may feel disconnected, no longer in the spotlight. But remember, aging brings us insight and wisdom that not everyone possesses. Instead of resisting this process, we can learn to embrace it and turn it into an opportunity to find peace and joy in the small things. 9. Eastern and Western values in perceptions of relationships. When we look at the world around us, we see vast differences in how various cultures value relationships and gender roles. In Western cultures, particularly in the US and Western Europe, traditional roles of men and women have shifted significantly. Women not only have careers and financial independence, but they also have the freedom to choose their lifestyles, even living without a long-term partner. Men in the Western world are expected to adapt to these changes and become more empathetic partners, willing to share emotional and financial responsibilities. However, in many parts of the world, especially in Eastern Europe or Asia, the traditional roles of men and women still retain many core values. Men in these cultures are still seen as providers and protectors, while women continue to take on nurturing and family care roles. This division, though classic, offers a stability and clarity in relationships that many Western men feel is lacking. This doesn't mean we should revert to rigid traditional gender roles. but understanding and respecting different values can help us better understand ourselves and how we want to build our relationships. For many older men, a blend of traditional and modern values may be the answer to finding balance and happiness in later life. 10. Rediscovering beauty in modern life. Perhaps one of the saddest things about modern society is the loss of beauty, not just physical beauty, but also spiritual beauty. In the past, we knew the values of loyalty, sacrifice, and long-lasting relationships. These values were once held in high regard and were the foundation of a meaningful life. But today, everything seems fast, fleeting, and easily forgotten. In the modern world, beauty is often seen as something superficial, shallow, and many core human values are forgotten. We chase new trends, idealized models on social media, and gradually lose the ability to recognize true beauty in simple things, in genuine moments in life. This not only affects how we view others, but also how we view ourselves. But we don't have to surrender to this trend. True beauty still exists, though it may be harder to see in today's society. It exists in deep relationships, the lasting values we maintain, and in the way we treat each other with kindness and compassion. For older men, rediscovering this beauty can bring comfort and meaning in later life. Take time to reflect on what truly matters. Cherish the small yet meaningful moments, the genuine emotions, and the values that never fade with time. We don't need to chase the standards society sets. Instead, live authentically and seek beauty in your own life. Dear friends, the life of an older man is full of challenges, but also full of opportunities for growth and finding happiness in your own way. We have passed through the years of youth, faced successes and failures, and now it is time for us to live for ourselves, to seek peace and joy in the small but meaningful things. Living alone does not mean we have to be lonely. It can be a time for us to redefine ourselves, seek new values, and live more fully. At the same time, if the desire for companionship remains, remember that it is never too late to find love and connection. Deep and meaningful relationships can come at any stage of life if we open our hearts and are ready to accept them. Remember that every day we are alive is a gift. Live with gratitude, with compassion for yourself and those around you. Old age is not the end. It is a new chapter, a chapter of understanding, patience, and true love. Thank you for listening and sharing with me. Life is not always smooth, and relationships can sometimes leave you feeling disoriented. Prioritizing your goals is essential because you can lose everything if you aren't steadfast in what you want to achieve. People often say that just because life can take a different path doesn't mean it will get better. The reality is that everyone has their own standards and preferences. You could be the best in the group, but there will be those who don't appreciate it. That's just the nature of life. When life is too easy and comfortable, you lose your mental sharpness and the desire to face challenges. It's only through hardship and confronting obstacles that you can truly grow. No one can teach you everything in life. The most important lessons are the ones you must learn through your own experiences. Don't fully trust others when they are still using you, because when you are no longer valuable to them, their true nature will be revealed. The most important thing you need to learn is how to stand up after each fall, for that is how you become stronger. When facing difficulties, remember that you saw the problem coming from afar. The ability to recognize problems before they occur is a gift. Don't waste that gift. Use it wisely. Not every thought in your mind needs to be spoken out loud. Sometimes, Staying silent is the best way to protect yourself from mistakes born out of anger. What starts in anger often ends in regret and shame. Health is more precious than anything. A healthy beggar is happier than a king who is ill. In love, the person who cares less often holds the most power. Don't take yourself too seriously. Those who can laugh at themselves will never lack joy. Education may be full of hardship and challenges, but its rewards are always worth it. If someone has to emphasize that they're telling the truth, it could be a sign that they're not entirely honest. Every failure teaches you a lesson, so that next time you can do better. Not every problem in the world is your responsibility. You will live a happier life if you focus only on what truly affects you. Don't let the past hold you back, because at that moment, you did the best you could. A happy person is one whose circumstances suit their temperament, but an even greater person is one who can adapt to circumstances instead of demanding that they change. Be cautious of those who say they love you, as often they are only using you for their own purposes. Trust yourself and trust your first instinct when making decisions. Don't worry too much about what others think, because everyone is primarily concerned with themselves. If someone could take back the pain they caused you, you would also lose the strength those experiences brought you. Don't chase after people who don't belong in your life. Instead, focus on personal growth, building value, and showing kindness. The right person will come to you at the right time, without the need for forcing or chasing. Life is a journey, and people come and go. Not everyone will stay for long. Some are just there to teach you valuable lessons. Keep your thoughts and knowledge to yourself, because a friend today could be an enemy tomorrow. Stay away from foolish people, for ignorance spreads quickly. Excuses are always available, but finding solutions requires courage. Not everyone wants you to succeed, and some may even try to prevent you from reaching your goals. Don't seek perfection or try to control everything, because nothing in life can be completely controlled, and nothing is truly perfect. Lower your expectations of yourself and others, as high expectations often lead to lasting disappointment. Those who cannot change their thinking cannot change anything in life. Everything begins and ends in your mind. What you empower will have control over you. So master your own mind. Time passes quickly, and the only thing you can do is be grateful for what you have, because things could always be worse. Live as if there's no tomorrow, and do what you love. Don't be afraid to set boundaries in your relationships. If someone doesn't respect those boundaries and leaves, you're better off without them. If your path is too clear and smooth, you're probably walking someone else's path. Life can only be understood in hindsight, but it must be lived looking forward. You can choose not to be hurt, and that means you won't feel suffering. Don't allow anyone to have the power to hurt you, for you alone can decide how you feel. You were born with 2 ears and 1 mouth, so use them accordingly. Busy people don't have time for lazy people. Just as flies don't settle on boiling water, the miracle you seek may lie in the very work you are avoiding. Living single but with a peaceful mind is far better than being in a relationship that makes your life miserable. Sometimes, a faker is simply someone in the process of change. You can always earn money, but not having a stable income is not a big problem. Don't worry if the world around you seems to be collapsing, because new opportunities will always arise. Not everyone will walk with you into the future. Some people are just here to teach you valuable lessons. Choose your friends wisely. It's better to have fewer quality friends than many unreliable ones. No success can compensate for failure in the family. Life is not fair, and deceitful people sometimes stand at the top. But no matter how difficult the circumstances, you just need to keep fighting. Most of what you worry about will never happen. And just because you don't like one chapter of your book doesn't mean you'll hate the whole story. You can make mistakes and still fail. But that's not weakness. It's just life. Courage is accepting yourself even though you may not be perfect. A happy life cannot be without darkness, and happiness wouldn't have value without sadness for comparison. Don't let someone mistreat you just because you love them. The best thing you can do is stop telling everyone everything about your life. You have 3 choices in life: watch things happen, make things happen, or wonder what just happened. Loneliness is not the absence of people, but the absence of connection. Seek meaningful relationships, not just the presence of someone. When you smile, the world smiles with you, but when you cry alone. We always love ourselves more than anyone else, yet we worry too much about other people's opinions. What you feel is right. Don't wait any longer. Act now. Life becomes easier when you learn to accept the apology you never received. Never underestimate the power of stupid people. And when life hands you lemons, turn them into lemonade. Holding on to grudges won't hurt those you hate, only yourself. If you expect life to treat you fairly just because you're a good person, you're deceiving yourself. That's like expecting a lion not to eat you because you didn't eat it. You don't need to feel good right away. Just keep going. The feeling will pass, but you'll remain. Becoming self-reliant and understanding that you are not immortal is essential. You will suffer much more later if you don't become independent and self-sufficient now. If you can't do it now, you'll never be able to. The circumstances around you shape who you are, not the other way around. The harder life gets, the closer you are to your goal. In life, we continuously meet new people and experience various relationships. Some relationships bring joy, support, and a sense of security. However, there are also those that cause us to lose our self-worth, drain our spirit, and make life increasingly burdensome. Sometimes, the hardest choice is letting go of toxic relationships to protect inner peace and create space for personal growth. Walking away is not a sign of weakness or failure, but rather the strength to rediscover ourselves and build a healthier, happier life. On this journey, knowing when to step away is a valuable skill that helps us grow and live true to our values. Sometimes, walking away is not just a choice, but a necessary liberation for the soul. In life, there are moments when we must face the reality that not all relationships bring the value and happiness we expect. The hardest part is not the failure of the relationship, but realizing that you need the courage to let it go to protect yourself. Those who do not offer you respect, do not appreciate you, and emotionally hurt you are not worth maintaining a connection with. Walking away, though challenging, is an act of strength and self-respect. Leaving does not mean giving up. It means choosing to protect your inner peace and self-worth. Sometimes, it is the first step toward starting a new journey, a journey where you are no longer bound by relationships that hurt and weaken your spirit. Not everyone in your life is meant to stay forever. Some people come into your life to teach you lessons in patience, self-respect, and how to protect yourself from the toxicity of others. A healthy relationship needs to be built on a foundation of respect and love. When it comes to relationships, it's not simply about being together. A healthy relationship does not require you to give up yourself to please others. People who truly love you will not demand that you change or sacrifice your values. They will respect your boundaries, listen, and empathize when you are going through tough times. If someone cannot accept you for who you are, cannot support you on your personal growth journey, then they are not worth keeping in your life. Not every relationship should be maintained. Sometimes, letting go is the beginning of growth. When we try to hold on to a relationship that is no longer healthy, we imprison ourselves in suffering and pain. Cutting ties is not a sign of failure or weakness. It's a way to free yourself from negativity, giving you the chance to grow stronger. Not every relationship is worth keeping, especially when it makes you feel pressured, disrespected, or devalued. Think of your life as a book, and each person in it as a chapter. Not every chapter has a beautiful ending, but each one plays a role in your story. Some relationships teach you patience, some teach you love, but others force you to learn how to let go. Letting go does not mean you have lost. It means you are giving yourself the chance to write better new chapters, where you live freely, fully, and more happily. True strength is knowing when to walk away and not fearing loneliness. One of the biggest fears that keeps us trapped in unhealthy relationships is the fear of loneliness. The truth is, sometimes being alone can be the best thing you can do for yourself. Loneliness is not a negative state, but an opportunity to listen to your inner voice, to rediscover yourself, and to build the confidence and strength you need for the next challenges. Indeed, loneliness can become your companion, helping you regain your identity and prepare for better relationships in the future. Remember that your inner peace cannot be exchanged for any relationship, whether it be love, friendship, or family. If that relationship makes you feel pressured, anxious, or unappreciated, know that you have the right to let go to protect your mental health. You don't have to prove anything to anyone but yourself. Sometimes, the hardest part is accepting the truth that you deserve a peaceful, free, and fuller life. And that requires letting go of things that no longer serve your growth. Cutting ties does not mean you have lost, but that you are finding yourself again. Sometimes we fear that losing a relationship will make us feel lonely, empty, or lacking. But the truth is, when you cut ties with a toxic relationship, you are not losing something, but opening the door to finding yourself again. You are giving yourself the opportunity to live a free life, free from unnecessary negative emotions and pressures. Cutting ties is not a sign of weakness, but an expression of inner strength, self-respect, and self-worth. Toxic people will make you feel inadequate, make you doubt your self-worth, and gradually erode the confidence you once had. They will hurt you with their words, actions, or even cold silence. This not only affects your mental health, but also hinders your ability to grow in the future. Remember, you have the right to decide who deserves to stay in your life and who does not. Do not hesitate to cut ties with those who hurt you. Your life is a precious journey, and you don't have time to waste on relationships that do not bring joy and growth. Cherish the relationships that help you grow and enhance your self-worth. Ultimately, life is not about keeping everyone, but about selecting those who deserve to stay with you. The people who help you grow, bring joy, support, and genuine love are the ones worth keeping. Don't be afraid to create distance from those who no longer fit. A healthy relationship is not about force or struggle, but mutual support, helping each other grow and overcome life's challenges together. Surrounding yourself with people who love and appreciate you will make you feel safer, more confident, and happier. The right relationships don't make you feel pressured or anxious, but help you become the best version of yourself. Choose wisely and treasure those who walk alongside you in life, for they are the ones who will bring you joy. peace, and sustainable growth. Your life is a journey of choices and continuous growth. On this journey, you will meet many people, go through many relationships, and learn countless lessons. Each relationship has its own meaning, whether good or bad. It brings you valuable life lessons. But the important thing is knowing when to hold on and when to let go. Listen to your heart and intuition, for they will always guide you toward the right path. Only when you learn to let go of things that no longer fit can you make room for better things to come into your life. In life, personal growth requires continuous adjustment and change. People who no longer fit with you, who no longer help you grow, will naturally disappear as you grow and better understand your own value. Life is not about clinging to the past, but about always moving forward, embracing new challenges, and seeking out those who will walk with you on your growth journey. The value of forgiveness lies not in holding on to others, but in liberating yourself. Forgiveness does not necessarily mean that you must maintain a relationship or continue to face the hurt. Forgiveness is the act of freeing yourself from the negative emotions others have caused you. It allows you to let go of the burdens within your heart and make space for peace and personal growth. Forgiveness helps you move forward without being haunted by old wounds. Forgiving is not to help others, but to free your soul from toxic bonds. When you forgive and walk away, you are not only protecting yourself, but also building inner strength to face the challenges ahead in life. Putting yourself first is not selfish, but necessary for personal growth. In modern society, we are often taught that sacrificing for others is a noble value. However, when you always prioritize others over yourself without taking care of your own needs, you may become mentally and emotionally drained. Understand that prioritizing yourself is not selfish. It is essential to maintain your mental health and create opportunities for personal growth. When you do not know how to take care of yourself, it becomes difficult to help and love others fully. Setting boundaries, saying no when necessary, and taking time for yourself are important factors in building a healthy and happy life. Value yourself, walk away when needed, and embrace peace. Life is a series of choices, and one of the most important choices is knowing when to let go and when to hold on. Unhealthy relationships that do not respect or bring positive value to you are not worth maintaining. Cutting off toxic relationships is not a failure, but a step forward on the journey to freedom and personal growth. Surround yourself with people who love, support, and help you grow. Remember that you deserve peace, happiness, and a life where you do not have to sacrifice yourself to please others. Walking away from negativity not only liberates your soul, but also opens the door for better things to enter your life. Respect yourself, protect your mental health, and always look forward. This is the path to lasting peace and happiness.